we have Jayant Dasgupta with us. Mr. Dasgupta, you must have heard the Commerce Minister's statement in the Parliament, where he clearly stated that at any cost we'll protect the interest of MSMEs, entrepreneurs and farmers. If we could break down the details about which are the areas where the government should put in its efforts, and how should we move forward from here on, and how this deal could be concluded on time, if you could put on light.
Well, as far as MSMEs are concerned, I think textiles and clothing, especially textiles, they are all in the powerlooms. Most of the fabrics that we produce in India are produced by powerlooms, and they are all in the small-scale sector. So they are part of the MSMEs. And textiles and clothing, the second sector which comes to mind is the leather sector. And the third one is about gems and jewelry and cutting of diamonds and the precious stones. All these are in the small scale. There aren't people who are very large are exporting. So if 25% tariffs are imposed on these sectors, there is definitely going to be an adverse impact. So I think that is something which the government is conscious of and would try to avoid. So that is one aspect. Second aspect is about market access in these sectors, not only in these sectors, but other sectors which form the universe of industrial products. Now, many of these products are produced in the small-scale sector, medium-sized enterprises. So if we give very low tariffs or zero tariffs to these sectors, then imports may come and cause serious injury to our own small producers. So that is something which we need to protect from. Now,
okay, Mr. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Mr. Dasgupta, I'm just taking you to the minister's comment in the Lok Sabha, where clearly said that they're in touch with various stakeholders. In fact, they are receiving comments from them, and after that, due action would be taken. If you could help me understand about the fact that what could be the counter strategy at this point of time, by the time we conclude our deal with the United States.
Well, in any trade negotiation, there is give and take. So we will have to concede certain things in the hope that we also gain something. So there would be some, segments of the industry which would gain, and there would be inevitably some other segments which would stand to lose by giving up market access, by giving up benefits in the domestic market, etc. Now, that is what the stakeholders' consultation is all about. Because the implications, I think yesterday the statement came out that the government is studying the implications. So this 25% tariffs and this penalty of additional tariffs on account of trading with Russia in oil, this will affect different sectors differently. And that is why the stakeholders' consultation is absolutely imperative to find out what would be the overall balance and where, our main interests lie and what we need to protect and where we can perhaps concede some ground in, finalizing a deal with the U.S. So that is what I think has been indicated by the minister, that we will go in for stakeholder consultations, which will be quite comprehensive and it will span all the sectors.
Okay, going by the statement, and of course, the US administration has announced that they'll move ahead with the already announced tariff structure. Mr. Dasgupta, you must have made your own assessment as well. If you could elaborate as to how this decision is going to impact various sectors, and which are those sectors which are going to be badly impacted after implementing this decision, which is going to come into effect from tomorrow.
Well, the U.S. imports are not going to have any reduced tariffs immediately because the deal has not been signed by the U.S. So for the domestic constituency or the domestic industry, I don't think there is any fear of getting adversely impacted at the moment. As far as our export-oriented industries are concerned, which are the industries that are likely to be affected? Now, take up textiles and clothing, which provides the largest employment after agriculture in India. Now, that is going to face competition, but as before, because our main competitors in textiles and clothing are China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Turkey to a certain extent. And the tariffs on all these, barring Turkey, are in the region of 20-25%. For China, it is 30%. So Bangladesh is 35%. So I don't think tariffs will really come into play very much. But because of increased tariffs, 20-25%, the size of the U.S. imports will come down. So there would be a contraction in terms of demand, and our export, orders will also shrink as a result. Similar is the case with leather, and similar is the case with gems and jewelry, because gems and jewelry are high-priced items, and if you, on top of that, you have 25% tariffs at least, then it is going to be priced out of the reach of many people. So again, there would be a shrinkage of the demand, and as a consequence, order books will then shrink in India as well. So that is as far as the adversely affected, the sectors which will not be adversely affected. Sectors which will be adversely affected in exports would be petroleum products, because we do import crude oil from Russia, and we convert it into petroleum products which are exported to the US and other parts of the world. So if the penalties for trading in Russian oil comes in, then there would be a shrinkage of our petroleum products exports, because they will be much more expensive than from other origination points. The engineering goods that we export, we have many competitors, and with 25% tariffs, I think Eastern Europe, for one, will gain some advantage, because they are going to contend with only 15% tariffs. There would be other competitors as well in ASEAN. So engineering products, auto components, and petroleum products are likely to suffer adversely because of the hike in tariffs.
Okay. In addition to that, Mr. Dasgupta, it seems that we are in catch-22 situation where, on one hand, we are in discussion with the US on bilateral trade agreements. At the same time, the tariff structure is going to come into effect from tomorrow. So my question to you is, given the chance, if you have an opportunity to advise government, what would be your suggestion to the government in a given circumstances?
Make a kind of a wishful statement. The first thing is, don't compromise on your core interests, on your red lines. Don't give up on the agriculture and dairy sectors and the MSMEs, because they provide the largest chunk of employment in the country. So there is no way we will concede ground on those fronts. By providing market access to the US, many of whose products, especially in agriculture, are highly subsidized. So that is point number one. Point number two is that if the tariffs are high, so are they for other countries who are our competitors, as I mentioned just a while ago. So there would be a shrinkage of the order books, but by and large, our market share would remain intact in some areas. In some other areas, it will go down. Our current share of exports to the U.S. is about 17 to 18%. So it is likely to shrink if the tariffs remain in place for some time. So it's likely to shrink, but I think we are opening up other markets like the UK, like the EU, and we can always widen and deepen our FTAs with the ASEAN, with Japan, with Korea, with the Australians, with the UAE. So our exports overall may not suffer very much. That is what needs to be borne in mind while making any concessions to the US.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dasgupta and Prakash, for joining us. With that, it's time to go to a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.